I'm trying to think like which year I was doing what, but I did visuals for Subtronics for like a good 2 or 3 years. There's a whole team of artists doing that because at his scale, like world touring, like
You need a lot of
he goes
visuals.
through content quick, yeah.
Yeah.
And when he like has crazy ambitious ideas, like which like the Tesseract Tour, it just required like a lot of design, like firepower to make a bunch of visuals.
Was that like a specific set of LED walls that were like shaped like a tesseract?
No, I think well, so he does have like we would get the production specs of like which walls he'd be touring with, but I don't remember if there was. I don't remember what it was for Tesseract specifically. The year before though, he had this big like round portal thing behind him, and that was pretty cool.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
So
it's so fun.
when you're I mean, first of all, sick. Like I gotta say that. Subtronics is obviously a huge name. Does huge festivals and shows. And the visuals are a big part of that.
For sure.
Oh man, I got a couple questions. I want to kind of get into the nitty gritty of like how you work with an artist like that and what specifically kind of they're asking for, but also
Sure.
on a bigger level, I kind of wanted to ask you about like, visuals versus like the music and like what the importance of each is. Cause like,
Sure.
we got like Anima, right? That guy who's doing like the sphere. And I don't know what you guys think of that. Like, I'm kind of curious because I see the visuals and I'm like, this is crazy. This is cool. But I think I'd be bored. And that's just like, because the music to me doesn't, it's just not that exciting. But
I just kind of think about it more like Cirque du Soleil and not like a DJ set. And when I think about it that way, I feel just like less bitter and less of a curmudgeon. And I'm just like, this is cool. And like how everything is synced up, like the performance aspects of it, it's like I try to withhold my regular judgments or critiques of like a DJ set that I might see at like a club that's like a dark room or something like that, and I'm just like looking at the fusion.
It's a different thing. I think that's a good way to look at it. Is that like if you think about it as a DJ set, it's unimpressive.
Yeah, it's like the most boring time coded shit ever. Like this guy's not reading the crowd at all. But like I would think of it more like an art installation kind of where that person, whatever you think about their music, like maybe it was a creative director for a team of artists. They worked together and came up with this thing that's like meant to be consumed not for like the 140 head or like club music head, but more just like the person that wants to see something cool on a big screen.
And it's perfect for Vegas. I've never been inside
like
the sphere,
but
like you look at it even on just a phone and you're like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, so, the pixels are like this big or something when you go. It's crazy. I have to go at some point.
You gotta go. Yeah, as a visual artist for sure. But yeah, I mean, I feel like, the thing that makes me kind of cringe is that people are just so on their phone and like filming it and like I'm here. It's kind of like another aspect of being seen.
I did a video or I did an animation for Daisy Chain in San Diego. They do Player Dave's show series. I like animated their logo going in a circle, like doing a 360 or whatever. But they were doing like shows in a 360 format, where it was almost the whole LED screen was just black. People are all facing each other, like it's dark, intimate vibes. I feel like that very much still has a place. It's something different,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's like the antithesis of like a Subtronics set where it's like you're seeing memes mixed in with insane visuals and like pop culture references and crazy shit slammed all together. It's a different thing.
I love that the visuals are a thing. I would be, it would be ridiculous to say that isn't part of what like got me into electronic music.
Sure.
Is like going to one of these shows, the huge walls, like the sound, whatever, all of it. I just, I don't know.
It just doesn't tickle your fancy.
I question just some people like the importance of it, I guess. I don't know. It's very important. I just think that I don't know. I also
do a lot of spectacle, you know?
Yeah. I think this is kind of what I was trying to say, is that I think I get overstimulated sometimes, that I'm like, this is just a lot to look at. And as an audience member, just looking at this DJ do this thing on this wall, I'm just like, it's almost too much. I think maybe I'm just becoming like, it's too much. But I feel like when I was younger, I'd be like, dude, I'm like, the wall's right here and it's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same way. Like, I make things for the shows. I don't go to the shows. Like, I mean, Subtronics played Lala, and like, I could have gone to see some of my visuals, but I'm like, I don't want to get trampled by 16-year-olds on Adderall. Like,
yes. Real. Okay. So let's go back to the question of like working specifically with Subtronics. You know, what does it kind of look like in terms of like what they're asking you for, and like, making sure you're doing all the things?
Yeah. I mean, so that's like working for Subtronics is probably a really like solid example of what you would want as a visual artist, like working in the scene, because Ray, Mr. Elemento, I can like send you his @ or whatever. He worked as a creative director, so he brought everyone together. He was the one that interfaced with Jesse Subtronics, and like, they would text back and forth. They have ideas, and then we would all come together with Ray to like, find our like competencies, like who's good at, like, we want some smoke in this one. Can someone figure that out? Like, there's one guy who's really good at these like crazy particles, like all these dots flying around. So yeah, we like split up the work and see how we can collaborate. And the thing about like, he had a themed tour too, so like, he has the specs for what the LED wall is going to be. He also has a theme in mind of like what he wants things to look like. So if it's crazy like space or time bending kind of stuff, like the Tesseract, like how we find a couple of like core visual things that we want to stick to, like certain colors we're going to use as a team, and then we break out and make our own content and bring it all back together. And then he has like his live production show, team who would kind of like work that into the set. So a lot of people.
I was gonna say, it sounds like it's a good person to work for, because it's very professional,
super structured. But there's on the other hand, like, I've done a million commissions where it's like, yo, like, so someone messaged me on Instagram like I have a logo that my homie just made. Can you make it look sweet? I have a show in a month. Like,
can you 3D-ize this?
Exactly.
Type of deal.
Yeah. And that's like a full.
How often are you getting the 3D spinning logo request?
That's, I mean, nowadays I'm not like freelancing in the scene like I was. But yeah, that's a thing that happens a lot. Yeah. But like my job is to like come up with something cooler than that.